days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. When these eyes are looking right at you, right at you. You give me something to believe in, just what I needed. You're the closest.
Let me welcome the one and only Garrison Hayes back to the Karen Hunter Show. Hello.
Hello. It's good to be here. I appreciate you having me back.
Listen, last time I was at a Democratic National Convention was 2004. I was covering it for the New York Daily News. I was a columnist. I remember seeing somebody, it was a zoo, it was wild. John Kerry was running for president, and there was this junior senator from Chicago talking about red states and blue states. There's no red states and blue states, but the United States. And it was the last column I wrote. I actually quit after I hit send. Because the new boss wanted me to come into the office, and what you're not going to do is tell me I got to sit up under you and be watched. So I hit send. And in that column, I said, this man could be president of the United States. I was right. But I remember the kinetic energy. What was it like last night with both of them? With this, where were you when Michelle Obama was delivering this speech?
I was in the room when it was happening. It was powerful. In fact, I was sitting in a suite. The DNC's done this interesting thing with some of their partners to bring in a number of creators. So I've had access to those creator spaces, sitting with friends who are content creators, taking it in with them, with Congressman Maxwell Frost, and Anthony Anderson was in the room, and a few others were there, and we were all listening, and it felt like a time that we all remembered, but had not been able to live in for a while. It felt like we'd gone back to a time of sanity with the Obamas as just this quintessential, beautiful power couple. It was amazing and reminiscent on, I think, what feels like better days. It may just be nostalgia, but it felt like better days in that moment.
I think it's real, and I think it's different too, because when we were swept up in the emotion of Obama, now we have the reality of the possibility with Kamala Harris. We know what we need to do now. It's different. It's different.
Right.
But it's a reminder of what we must get back to, which is being human beings and celebrating. Yep. Like you said, you don't get to define what, and I love, white dudes for Harris, because you don't get to define what it means to be white. You don't get to define, white is not the Confederate flag and KKK and Nazis with tiki torches. It's not. And you shouldn't allow it to be. Black is not, sexy red and Amber Rose. I don't even know why I brought her up. Or all the other degenerate, folk that, you're right, she's not black. But that's not black either, right? All of the people that are, corralling around Trump, that's not black. That's something else. And we get to define for ourselves and write our own narratives. But more importantly, we're Americans. So let's start there. I love the Chancellor USA reverberating throughout, because it was kind of absent from the other conference that's supposed to be true patriots. For you covering this, is this your first convention?
This is my first convention. This is my first election season in this capacity, obviously. As a journalist traveling, I went to the RNC, now I'm at the DNC. So this is a very new experience for me. Yeah.
What's the difference?
Between the RNC and the DNC.
Yeah. What's been the biggest difference for you?
The biggest difference, covering? I mean, there's so many differences. There's the diversity element, right? When you're at the RNC, there were certainly not only old white people there were young white people there too, but it was a majority white people, to be abundantly clear. And I don't know, perhaps there's a majority of white people here. I've not tried to kind of take a close account, but what is obvious is that there are Asian people and Latino people, and there are immigrants from all over the world. There are Black people everywhere. And the energy is so much more familial amongst the folks, where if I, as an outsider looking in, it felt like people were kind of buttoned up a bit at the RNC. They kind of felt like they had to put on a certain kind of appearance of professionality and poise. But here it feels like a reunion often, watching people reconnect after however long it's been since they'd seen each other. You also have to remember this is the first DNC post-COVID, and a lot of these people haven't seen each other in a while, and so some of that energy is here as well. And so those are huge differences. But I think the biggest and most obvious difference is messaging. At the RNC, there was so much fear mongering around immigration and crime. The vision that they wanted to cast for America is that America is in the worst possible place it's ever been, and there's only one person who can fix it. Whereas the DNC's message has been much more about the power of we as opposed to the power of me with Donald Trump. It's been a much more collectivistic vision for the future that is hopeful, looking at the wins from the Biden-Harris administration here at this time, but also the possibilities of tomorrow. And that's also been, I think, very contagious for folks. The last thing I'll say here is that I talked to some people who came in a bit skeptical about this. Maybe they were part of the uncommitted movement. Maybe they weren't sure if Kamala Harris was the right candidate. But now on day 3, I talked to some of those very same people this morning, and many of them, this energy has been so contagious for them. And the Obamas played a huge part in that last night.
We're going to talk more, Michelle, and Barack Obama. We're going to play some clips. But let's Jason Ray, the secretary of the Democratic National Committee, was the star last night as he gave voice to each and every state. And when they got to Georgia, Garrison, I said, oh, Lord, something is really different here. Well, I knew it when DJ Cassidy I was like, what is happening? This DJ Cassidy, I know they did it during the pandemic. What is going on? And then they got to Georgia. Smiths, play it.
Georgia, how do you cast your vote?
Yo, I was out of breath. I said, wait a minute. Okay, so Sam Nassau, who's our producer at Urban View Mornings, was there. He said that the press weren't allowed in the facility. Now, I suspect that Garrison was in the facility.
Oh, I was in the building.
Oh, I know you were.
I was in the building. First of all, as the kid from Atlanta, okay, like you can take the boy out of Atlanta, but you can't take the Atlanta out the boy. And let me tell you, I was in there going crazy. Like, politics aside, that's my city. And they really put on. It was amazing to see Lil Jon from Southwest Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing. It was incredible. It was really incredible. And the room, I'll tell you, the room was going up. Like, you would have thought that everybody was from the SWATs. You thought that everybody's from Cascade. You thought everybody went to Beecher Hills Elementary. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, it was amazing. It was really amazing. And that's another big difference. I mean, I've seen the comparison clips, Karen, between the DNC roll call and the RNC roll call, and it is a totally different vibe. This was fun. It was a party. They really wanted people to get loose for this really historic moment, and that came through.
Well, I was waiting for the rest of the lyrics. I'm glad that they button it up. But the fact that song, because you already know what the next, I was like, oh, they went there. But I said, who produced this? So was it Ricky Minor? Was it Ricky? I think it was Ricky Minor. I'm going to give you homework. You need to know who Ricky Minor is. I'm pretty sure this was his production because I said, with black people, somebody said, we were in the room. I said, we weren't in the room. We led the room. This production doesn't happen this way without somebody imagining what it could be. And the excitement, even of the delegates, the different delegates. We played the oldest delegate from West Virginia, Gene Evans Moore, and then they got to Tennessee. Somebody put an organ underneath. Justin Pearson, one of the Tennessee 3. Let's play it, Smith. No organ.
From the bluffs of Memphis to the peaks of Mountain City, the movement for justice, rooted in love in Tennessee, is still strong.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He took them to the mountaintop, and I may not get there with you, but we the people will get. You better do that, little Justin Pearson. Oh my
Hey,
goodness. It was people were
hey,
feeling themselves last
they were
night.
feeling it. They were feeling it. Now you have done me a favor because I'm from Atlanta, but I live in Nashville. And so Justin, I mean, he's not state representative for Nashville, but he is a powerful voice in the state and a powerful voice in the city in the state's capital. And can you tell that he is the son of a
Of
preacher?
a preacher.
Actually,
Yes.
of two preachers.
Yes.
His mom and his dad are preachers. I also thought it was nice that they played 9 to 5. What is it? Working nine to
Dolly
five.
Parton. Yes. Nine to
Dolly
five.
Parton, not 9 to 5. Dolly Parton underneath. It felt appropriate because Dolly is truly an ally for the people, working on behalf of the
Yes, she
people.
is.
And so it was. I mean, it's powerful, and it's also beautiful to see Justin, who has gone through so much because of the expulsion that he experienced as a part of the Tennessee Three. It was awesome to see him on that platform, and we can look forward to seeing him again tomorrow night. Him and Justin Jones, as well as Gloria Johnson, who is running for U.S. Senate in Tennessee. All three of them will be on the stage tomorrow night, giving a speech about gun violence prevention. So some powerful moments there.
That's the other thing. They're not just the diversity of the crowd, but the speakers. They're coming at it from the Republicans last night. I think Adam Kinzinger is tomorrow. But last night, to listen to Trump's actual aide get up there and then they tried to troll her and she clapped back. I was like, go ahead, Stephanie. Okay. Anna Navarro hosting, who's a lifelong Republican. It is showing that we can disagree on some policies, but what we must not disagree on is what it means to be American. What we must not disagree on is our common shared humanity. We can't disagree on that. And we've been away from that for so long, and it feels good to be back there.
My days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. When these eyes are looking right at you, right at you. You give me something to believe in, just what